Now let's take a look at a framework which we'll call problem, solution, and impact framework. So this is a framework which is equivalent to a term which we use quite a lot in finance, which is ROI. So ROI is nothing but return on investment. So if you want to compare different investments with each other to find out which investment is the better choice, we use ROI. Similarly, if you want to find out which problem to solve, which one to prioritize, we use this problem, solution, and impact. So this impact is the one which decides our investment, which problem are we going to solve and invest our time and money in it. So let's take this, which is the three-step process: problem, solution, and its impact. Okay, we have to check all three. We can't just check problem, or we can't just check solution, or you can't just check impact. We have to do all three. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of the examples. We have email smart compose, we have flight delay prediction, we have community moderation, whether it is on chats or comments or anything, and we have photo management. So we have four different problems, and we apply this framework to decide whether these should be prioritized or not, or we will see this framework in action for these problems one by one. So let's take a look at email smart compose. You see, if you take a look at email, and whenever you're writing something, let's say you are working in a company, or you're a student, or you're anything else, if you type something, then this smart predicts what you meant to say and simply gives you the suggestion. So what is the problem is giving auto predict. This is obvious. And solution here, the prediction is mostly based on data. So it will be a AI solution, which is based on natural language. Okay. Now, how do we prioritize this? Is mainly defined by, who is this problem for? Because this is on extremely large number of people. You see, when you take a look at as an aggregate, when the large number of people who spend time writing emails, at that time, even a marginal improvement makes a lot of impact for masses and accumulative gains. It could be short gains per individual, but accumulative gain by as a summation, that is quite a lot. And this is where the problem definition, if you are being strict about it, this is where problem definition helps. When you think in terms of solution, we don't just think as one solution, its impact on one person. We look at it as aggregate. And that is why the net impact is quite a lot. Increase in productivity for large number. This increase in productivity is marginal. It's less. Okay. But it is for large people. That's why this problem was prioritized. So if you're thinking in terms of, oh, I want to do smart compose for my friends, not worth it, because the number of people which are going to be using this is not that large for our solution to make a difference. If this was a smart compose for doctors who are actually willing to pay for a system which improves their productivity in what they write and blah blah blah, then even if the audience is less, the solution is still high value because the impact it makes because of a single difference in productivity of doctors is quite a lot. So you see, you either go for mass ISU or you go for the amount of productivity delta for that certain audience. This is how you see this framework applied to this email smart compose. Let's take a look at another problem, which is predicting delay of flight might have. So let's say you are a airport owner, or you are a company who has multiple planes, who is just having multiple routes and flying people from A and B. Okay, as either a person who offers tickets, or a person who buys ticket, or a person who owns airline, or airport who hosts a lot of airlines, you see, if you can successfully predict the delay of the flight, this has huge impact on a lot of different audiences. You as a customer or someone as a charge of logistic person at airport or anything else. So by predicting the probability of delay and duration of the delay, you see probability of delay. So it's like this flight will probably get delayed. You see, this is the often probability of delay and duration of delay. If you can plan this properly, this makes a huge logistical differences to everyone. As an individual user, I can book accordingly. As someone who is in charge of airport optimization, you can have number of flights decided accordingly. If you know certain flight is always going to get delayed, maybe you can mark it as always delay and make some modifications so that you can still take advantage of a flight's consistent delay. If some flight is perfectly on time, then you can use that to do some optimization. You see, it starts with problem, which is a precise predicting the delay of the flight, duration of the flight as well, and then it has impacts on multiple things. So solution is going to be predicting the delay, and the impact is going to be extremely multi-dimensional. So you see, because it makes a large number of impact on large different audiences, this problem is actually prioritized. If you just go on Google, try to book a flight, you will actually see stuff like this. Similarly, such stuff is used in the background by airlines to also do the optimization on their end. So let's another problem, community moderation. What's the problem? Ensuring that internet is a safe place, not full of harassment or bullying. So if you want to avoid that, many a times the solution is human moderation. But it is time consuming, it is also taxing on the humans who are doing moderating, and it is not scalable for the large number of activity which happens on internet. So if you're going for solution using AI, then it makes a huge impact on a community to make it much safe, which encourages people to come online, be participant, and it's good for mental health of even people who would have done the moderation before. So you see different kind of impact in this case. In the previous case, it was a different kind of impact, but as you can see, the problem, solution, and impact, if you think in terms of this rigid framework, it gives you a deep understanding of the problem and even possibly alternate problems which can come out of that problem. Okay. The final here is photo management. So this as a photo management, here it is very interesting problem. This is currently solved in Google Photos. Before it was solved in a software called as Picasa. Before that, there are other softwares which help you do the management. So whether you take Flickr or 500px, or there are a lot of websites as well. If you simply want a photo storage solution, then that is the problem you're trying to solve. If you want something to organize your photo, then that's a different problem and you need a different solution. If you want something just as a backup, then that's a different problem which leads to a different solution. If you want something for photo editing, then that is a different problem which needs a different solution, and then you evaluate its impact, and if it is impactful, then you prioritize it. You see, having a lot of efforts to find precise definition, the audience, the solution for that audience, and its impact, this is quite important so that this concept of feature creep doesn't happen. If you're not clear on one problem, you might solve multiple different problems which might dilute the quality of your solution. So you see, this here is the photo management offered by Google Photos, wherein lots of photos, which is difficult to manage. The solution is simply transform the disorganized library, one, back it up, two, make it available for search. And this is what Google Photos currently offers. Not a perfect solution for organizing yet, but definitely a perfect solution for backup, searching. This has definitely been also offered perfectly, and also for editing. So just because a solution has already been built, like Google Photos or Flickr or something. It doesn't mean nothing else can be done on top of. You can make a precise definition, identify a problem in that solution which was not yet solved, fully solved. You can either solve that unthought of problem, or you can improve the previously solved problems. So this is the thought process. This is the thought process which helps guide our efforts. So please think about this framework. Think of how this can be applied, and it will help you think of different problems which can be solved using AI and which one should be prioritized by using a framework like this.